Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I made this video earlier today, and I call it Proof Ukraine Military Ran Out of Recruits. It goes after unfit and medically exempted ones. And I made this video because the Ukrainians are planning to make some changes in the policy in the way that they recruit their medically exempt people and fat people or whatever people that are unfit. So I said that in case Ukraine would be winning and their military would not be depleted, that would be unnecessary, logically. And if this is the case, then I think they are losing a big chunk of people. Therefore, they try to make it more flexible so they can grab certain strata of the society, segments of the society that they were not able to recruit until now. So they try to expand or make the pool greater, so they're bigger, so they can pick more people up. And obviously, probably some people would say, well, Emil, you're an idiot, which could be possible. But hey, I have another article to continue and make my case even stronger, if you know what I mean. So I have this little article here, and I definitely will share it with you, because that's why I'm here, right? So let's see this article. And this comes from Ukrainska Pravda. Again, the other one was from Ukrainska Pravda as well. So let me show you what's this in the title. 60,000 men. Zelensky's representative initiates cancellation of conscription deferment for some students. That means some certain strata of the students, the same with the other article, right? With the other with this one right here, it was just some that were unfit and some medical exempted. Not all of them, just a few. New, how should I put it? No, new areas will be, forgiven about. So if you suffer for this, that's not a reason for you to not go and fight. Now this is just for some, right? For some students, and I'm going to share with you those groups of people that now will be subjected to being recruited. Why do you think it's so? Is it because Ukraine has too many people to recruit from? Is it because it doesn't have more people on the front? That means they're decimated. What's going on here? So it says that a member of the Ukrainian parliament and presidential representative in the Rada, Ukrainian parliament, has registered a draft law that cancels the postponement of mobilization for students over 30 who are pursuing non-sequential higher education or who have also enrolled on secondary or more, let's arrange this, courses. That means they will have more inclusion and diversity, right? So let's go down and see what these guys want. And I'm quoting, I have received information from the Ministry of Education and Science as of 2019 and 2021, that there were about 40,000 students aged 25 and up. In 2022, when the full-scale war began, there were 106,000 students aged 25 and plus. So this year, the number are also approaching 100,000. This means that 60,000 men have decided, and here this is his interpretation, they have decided to take advantage of this opportunity to avoid mobilization. So that is, this idiot's argument sounds like this. It's like I would say, honey, I'm going to go to the grocery store, okay? Why do you go to the grocery store? Well, I'm going to go and buy some milk and whatever is necessary. And your wife would say, no, that's not true. You're just going to the grocery store so you don't spend time with me. Now, those students went over there for what? For education. That this guy says, no, they didn't go to the university for education. They went over there to take advantage of this opportunity to avoid mobilization. How do you know his motives? How does my wife know that I'm leaving to buy, whatever groceries we need, just because I want to get rid of her and I want to spend time with her, blah, 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 blah. Huh? So obviously this is his or her interpretation. You can't go like this. You can't. But anyway, it's like, I don't know, someone comes at your door and says hello, and you say, oh, she wants to. No, she just wants to ask you a question. And you don't know yet. Or maybe she asks you, hey, have you seen this or happened to you? Or your neighbor comes and asks you a question or walks towards you. I wonder why that is. Well, it's not because of that. Wait, okay? So that's why this guy, this is the reason why he says, this idiot, he's an idiot. He can't be a normal person to say this. Veniaslavsky, this guy. He says, because of this, because of what I indicated here, he doesn't know the reasons. The obvious reason is I went to university or to college, whatever, to enhance my education, to promote, to push it, to whatever. Now, further my education. That's the reason why I have registered a draft law and proposed that a person pursuing education that is not sequential, okay? Those who have enrolled for a second or third or fourth course of education over the age of 30 cannot use this right to deferment. I'm not saying it's impossible what he says, but you have no evidence to support that. It doesn't mean that you have 40 and you go and get a class just because it happens during a war. That's the exact reason. You need more connection between correlation between these things to say causation or whatever, to make the thing really. That's the reason why he brings us one fact. Hey, more people choose to take classes. It is because they want just to avoid being registered, being taken into military, conscripted. Is that the only reason a person would go over there? And how do you make the connection? Again, that's an idiot, all right? But hey, he doesn't have to do much. He's in charge of you. Why? Because he is elected by you. He's supposed to work for you. Now, if he thinks that way, imagine what kind of laws come out of this guy's little attic. Details explaining the concept of sequential education. Veniaslavsky explained that sometimes, not all the time, men of military age are enrolling in courses to follow a lower level of education than they had before. For example, people with degrees are enrolling on vocational education courses. And it is a different field of study, So the MP admits that if the draft law is passed, this rule will apply not only to those who will be starting their studies in the next academic year, but also to those who started in 2022 and 2023. So this idiot's logic is like this. Let's say I'm a technical engineer, and I don't find a job as a technical engineer, and let's say I have a master in engineering. Let's put it this way. I know a case actually like this. And I don't find jobs, or the jobs that I can't support my family and so on. So then I decide to go for a nursing, which being a nurse, it's below a master degree engineering job or education, isn't it? Unless you don't like that. But it is. I can give you a different explanation. I am a welder. A welder makes more money, let's say, than an engineer, and you can find a job. So these guys will go for a welding school, which is below his education, because the market gives him more opportunities in that. I know many people here in the United States of America that have college degree, some of them master's degrees. I think I know 2 cases of people who have master's degrees, and they went lower. They changed into being a nurse because they're paid better, and it's the need. The need is bigger. So that means because this is possible or impossible, he doesn't care about your life. He decided that you do this only because that's you wanted to avoid going to war. Now let me give you another example. You know how thieves always, when someone looks, let's say someone committed a crime and someone just gives him a look, he says, guy, does he know that I committed a crime? How does he know? I think he's looking, yeah. Why? Because that's what he thinks everybody knows, or whomever gives him a look is, if he's dumb, obviously, but most people are dumb. So it's like, yeah, it's looking at me. I wonder why the police car just drove by my house. They're just surrounding me. I'm under. That's how it is with this guy. The only thing he's thinking is, he starts the other way around. If you don't if you don't enroll, if we can't enroll, we can't get you into conscription, we can't mobilize you, and you do something that you just escape that, it must be a connection. It must be. No, not necessarily. It's like this guy talks on the hallways of the Rada with a woman. It doesn't mean that he wants to fuck her. Does it? Well, you need more evidence to support that claim. No, he doesn't need. He makes his own connection. Now, with this kind of people, they're idiots and dangerous, because no more people will go. Now, my point is not that this guy's an idiot. No surprise there. The point is, why these guys are desperate in the same day. Two articles, one after the physically unfit, and medically, that's one. And now they go after the students in the same day, the same media outlet related on the same subject. That means they need more people. Their people are decimated on the front lines. Maybe not, but it's two already. I got two. I think it's too evident. But hey, I don't want to make Vanislavsky mistake and say, well, just because that. But I think it's more likely to be what I said, the way I said, than the way Vanislavsky says with his little. Anyway, I think they're depleted, but it's okay. We're gonna find volunteers coming from the Western countries, and also yes, and we're gonna hear those Ukrainians that are still training in the West coming over in very uncountable, endless numbers. You'll see, but they will speak many foreign languages. But they're Ukrainians training overseas, and they're volunteers, some of them. We'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Until Zaluzny decides that, hey, we can't win here, stop the carnage, stop, and that's it. And they will say, no, you can't say that's okay, go and get him. And there will be an insurrection, original insurrection, clear insurrection, meeting the definition insurrection. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.